And we begin tonight with joy. No, not me joy, but the feeling joy. The joy felt by Americans backing the Harris-Walz ticket, a joy that is palpable and pervasive, as illustrated by the massive crowds greeting VP Harris and Governor Walz at their rallies in Wisconsin and Michigan today. It feels like we're experiencing another 2008 Obama moment. The energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm. It feels fun. Imagine that. American politics, joyful again.
In this fight, as Tim Walz likes to point out, we are joyful warriors. Joyful warriors. Because we know that while fighting for a brighter future may be hard work is good work. Hard work is good work.
It's the tale of two tickets. One radiates joy. The other is dour and, frankly, frightening. And this is how you know the Republicans are freaking out about it. Vice President Kamala Harris is criticized for her race, gender, and parental status, but also for laughing. As if an infectious, energizing belly laugh, the literal display of joy, is a bad thing. She loves to laugh with her sister, especially. She is a foodie. Trust me. She and I have talked about food, and it is a passion. Cooking with Kamala is a thing on the internet. She will show you everything from her go-to roast chicken to a potato curry with dosa. And she is amazing with kids. Walz, too, a joyful guy. His former students love him. He was a popular and successful high school football coach. He made weird happen. And he's a Midwesterner with big dad energy, who will offer tips on how to fix your car and save money to boot.
This right here is the headlight harness on a 2014 Ford Edge. Ford, this is unacceptable. It burned out hot on the connector. So for $7.99 at Napa Auto Parts here in the city, you can replace this. Just clip off the back, use some shrink wrap connectors on there, tape it back together and put it back in. It's about a 5-minute fix and you're back on the road safe and sound.
Okay, that was a very real throwback video, by the way, just 11 days before Walz won the 2018 election for Minnesota governor. Some of you may be familiar with the beer question in U.S. politics, a thought experiment often utilized by the media or in polling, which says that voters will generally elect the candidate they would rather have a beer with, because victory in American politics often goes not to the candidate who better articulates their platform, but rather who is more likable. You be the judge. Who would you rather have a beer with? Kamala Harris, who dares to laugh, and Tim Walz, the plain-spoken fun uncle who will defend the people he loves? Or Donald Trump, who rambles about sharks and hatred, who makes fun of people, and who smirks but who rarely laughs, and who doesn't seem capable of talking to a child, even his own grandkids, and his cat lady-hating sidekick, J.D. Vance. This guy is really weird, y'all. So weird that the couch meme won't die. Now he's basically stalking the Democratic ticket, stunning reporters today by attempting to confront VP Harris and Governor Walz on the tarmac when their planes arrived in Wisconsin at similar times. Here he is on the tarmac after walking the long stretch toward the vice president's plane, telling reporters, quote, "I just wanted to check out my future plane." What? Like, walking up to the vice president at Air Force Two is not a thing, dude. That is not a thing that normal people do. Thankfully, he did not interact with the vice president herself, and we have Secret Service to thank for that, I'm sure. Vance's weirdness aside, this race is also a reversal of how the parties are normally framed. The Republicans love to attack Democratic elites. But Harris and Walz actually feel like regular, normal, middle-class folks. Yes, they are living extraordinary political lives, but due to hard work, not connections or riches. Harris went to Howard University and HBCU and the University of California, Hastings College of Law. And Walz attended an open admissions teachers college in Northwest Nebraska. Quite the opposite of what we're seeing on the Republican side, with Trump-Vance being the Ivy League ticket, loved by the billionaires. It's quite the elite conundrum for the Republican Party. The so-called populist MAGA movement now bankrolling a celebrity who inherited his wealth and sits on a golden toilet, and who's not out there campaigning, but is instead golfing at his exclusive ritzy resort. And a vice presidential candidate anointed by super weird tech investor Peter Thiel. It's a ticket backed by billionaire tech bros and that wants to unleash Project 2025, the brainchild of rich people on the American people. As we often say on this show, it is a hateful vision that all people should fear, reflected perfectly by the two men who want to execute it. Alencia Johnson, a 2020 Biden-Harris campaign senior advisor, joins me along with Joan Walsh, national affairs correspondent for The Nation, and Stuart Stevens, chief strategist for Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign and senior advisor to the Lincoln Project. Thank you all for being here. Stuart, I do want to start with you because you have run presidential campaigns and you know how hard it is. I mean, Mitt Romney is probably a lovely human being as a person, but he was sort of easily characterized as this sort of elite kind of odd person, right? And that proved really difficult when he was running against Barack Obama, who, despite his name and background, people thinking it was exotic, when you actually heard him, he just sounds like a regular guy you'd play basketball with. So talk about this now dichotomy where the people you'd much rather have a beer with, at least most people, are the Democrats.
Yeah, you look back at that Romney-Obama race, it seems just like a different era in American politics. On Election Day, both of them had favorables of 50%. Think about that. I don't think we'll see that for a long time on the Republican side.
True.
I think this is a tremendous ticket that the Democrats have put together. What I really love about it is the way it embraces two classic American stories. You have this woman daughter of immigrants, who came up, who had tremendous success and achievement because she earned it. And then you have this small town guy, he's like a walking John Mellencamp song, football coach, who taught, it's just really two great American stories coming together. And I think people can relate to that. There was a time when Republicans at least tried to claim the mantle of optimism. I mean, that certainly was true of Reagan. In the Reagan world, to be born in America, you'd won life's lottery. And now that's completely reversed, and the Democrats own that. And I think it's a very powerful force in American politics.
It is. And Joan, you've been covering the now VP Kamala Harris for a really long time. She was based in San Francisco, where you were based as a journalist. And I mean, the thing about her, just since I've experienced her as a political figure, is that she hasn't become this happy person. Like, she actually is this happy person, right? She and her sister are hilarious together. They adore each other. But she's always sort of presented herself as sort of like the approachable, prosecutor. And that's how she ran in 2020. I still remember her ads then were like, Shirley Chisholm inspired me. It's like she's not play acting it, and obviously neither is Tim Walz. Talk about her emergence into this moment, because it definitely feels like she and this moment have found each other.
When I did the profile of her last month, Joy, her staff asked to read my 2003 profile. And what they said was, oh my God, she is the same person. She likes to swear. She likes to tell stories. She likes to laugh. She's combative. She's contentious. She will not let you get away with garbage if she thinks you're disrespecting her. But, I think she had a few rough years being staffed poorly, in my opinion, by some of her staff, not all, during the presidential race. And even in the beginning, I would say, in the White House as vice president. And what she's got now is a great, very, very loyal staff who have her back. And I loved that moment last night when Tim Walz said, I have your back. It was very moving to me because she doesn't always have that. And she needs it. She's got the Secret Service, but now she's also got this stalker going around from city to city like a hangdog ex-husband trying to find her. So I trust the Secret Service, but I'm glad that she's got Tim Walz there too. He's on it.
Yeah, it is so weird, Lindsay. It is so weird that, like, Trump is playing golf somewhere while J.D. Vance is, like, stalking the vice president and saying weird stuff to reporters. Like, he's not helping to make it himself not seem weird. But I want to show that, because here's the thing about the play acting. You can actually, in the end, as a politician, only be who you are, right? You can fake it only so much. Here's Donald Trump's campaign today. He posted on his fake Twitter, his pretend version of Twitter, an attack on Governor Walz's handling of the George Floyd protests. We have now started to hear that being a theme of the Trump campaign, the Trump Vance campaign. Well, inconveniently enough, there's always a tape. ABC News has uncovered a call of Donald Trump doing the opposite. Here he is praising Governor Walz's handling of the self-same George Floyd protests in Minneapolis. Here he is on tape.
I know Governor Walz is on the phone, and we spoke, and I fully agree with the way he handled it the last couple of days. But once you called out and you dominated, you took the worst place, and you made it. They didn't even cover it last night because there was so little action. Because you dominated. You dominated. It showed the incredible difference between your great state yesterday and the day before compared to the first few days, which was just absolutely. Nope, never seen anything absolutely. Like a police force and take it over. And I don't blame you. I blame the mayor. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
A helpful reminder that during these protests that they're so angry about Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Here's the spokesman for Carolyn Levitt, a spokesperson for the Trump campaign. This was her response. That Trump lauded Walz only after the governor heeded his advice to enlist the support of the National Guard, something that the president also can deploy. Your thoughts on this, Alencia, because even their play acting falls apart because there are always tapes.
Well, I'm kind of laughing because I imagine her that Governor Walz was like, I cannot believe I'm on the phone with this man and this incoherent speaking. And also, like, let's not forget that this is a person who did not call in or tell his supporters to stand down when they were committing an insurrection on the Capitol, right? And so the contradiction of them trying to put out this narrative when, one, there's this tape, but also we all saw this on January 6th, 2021.